Hey girl, welcome back to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, and have I got some news that I have been holding in my heart to share with you today. Also, happy 300th episode. Oh my gosh, never, ever, ever did I think we would be here. But that isn't the news that I wanted to share with you. I am super excited about it though. I remember when I started this show, I was more than nervous. I felt like I was talking to the void. I felt incredibly incapable. I felt like an imposter. I felt all of those negative feels, but I did it anyway. And I couldn't be more excited that this show has touched so many souls. Over 141 countries. I was looking at the stats last night. So thank you so much for your listening. Over 109 five-star reviews. You guys are amazing. I'm so appreciative of your reviews of the podcast in any way that this show helps you. I'm always open to taking on topic ideas. Of course, if you have any of those, you can shoot an email. But I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. 300 episodes, and we are just getting started. I'm a little nervous, but let's dive in because I want to share some news with you. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. It is back to school season, almost this, and we have pencils that I'm ordering and all of the fresh backpacks. And when I think about just the first day photos that are going to flood folks' feed over the next couple weeks and that crisp new beginning energy air, I don't know, it hits us in August and in September timeframe. My own boys are just about to head back. And this year, back to school means something a little bit different in our house because play the music, I'm going back to. Eek! I don't even know, and I can't even believe that I'm sharing this on the podcast, but I've been accepted to pursue my doctorate in mental health counseling, in psychology, neuroscience, all of that, clinical psych, all of the things the brain, especially when it comes to eating disorders, I'm such a nerd about. And I am not telling you this, though, so that you will clap for me. I am telling you because everything I've had to face to get to this point, to say yes to this, the fear, the timing, the negative internal dialogue, who am I to reach for more in my life at midlife? It is the exact same thing standing between you and your fullest recovery. And so today, my big news is really a story about you. So I want us to go there together in this episode. I often talk about like the fear of the unknown, but it's just so important because oftentimes we are afraid of the unknown, right? We're afraid of what it's going to look like when we finally are recovered. Yet we are afraid because we just simply don't know what's going to happen, right? What will I feel like? Or will I be okay in my body, et cetera, et cetera. But that fear, that is what holds us back. The fear of not knowing if I am capable of this, the fear of not sure how I'm going to feel, being 40 in the classroom again. I mean, I already have a master's degree, an undergrad degree. I feel like I have gone to school and so many certifications in eating disorders, but here I am again. And that fear, if you take a second look at it though, and this is where I kind of got to my decision, you can see that not going because you're afraid, not stepping into faith because you're afraid is exactly what brings you to the unknown that you're scared of. Because if you don't go, if you don't do the thing, you're never going to know. And if you decide to do it, then you'll find out. You'll find out and you'll know. That was something that really kind of helped me process this decision. But here's how I got here. For 4 years now, I've been building Her Best Self Co., my recovery practice, and this podcast, and it is the deepest honor of my life. And walking with women just like you who are clawing your way back toward yourself, one foot in front of the other, through one-on-one support work and through the Recovery Collective, and this podcast just reaching thousands and hundreds of thousands of you. That is my calling. And none of it is going anywhere. That is the good news. This is not an episode where I'm telling you I'm pivoting my business. This is not an episode where, you're like, oh gosh, like, what do I do next? No, none of this is going anywhere. It's just getting better. It's not something I'm graduating out of. I'm not changing anything. Nothing is changing for you as a listener or as a client or potential client. This is what I'm grounding and building on. And we are only going to be bringing more support and more to you, my clients and future clients, okay? Because here's what I believe to be true. The most powerful support blends things that are usually kept pretty separate. And I have lived experience, right? I've known what it's like to live with anorexia for a really long time. I've known the entire recovery journey that I had to experience. I see the gaps in the care teams. I see the gaps in the system. And I know what it's like to be the woman on the other side of the table when the dietitian isn't happy with what's going on, or when the therapist is telling you something and you're not vibing with it, or feeling inadequate, or feeling like nobody understands you. I get all of that. I also have years of coaching women in this space where I bring that accountability to you. The vision that you're wanting comes to life. The week-to-week walking and holding your hand alongside of you so that you're doing the actions that are going to get you the results. All of that. Seriously, greatest honor of my life, and it's not changing anytime soon. In fact, I'm working on an offer and a program that I cannot wait to get in front of you because I truly believe it's going to change your life if you're a part of it for the fall. So you'll want to watch out for upcoming episodes because I'm going to be talking about a priority list that I want you to get on. And also, I want to be doing all of this as I continue to excel clinically. I have seen the magic that these different things work together and are able to provide for women. And so I'm adding into my experience and to my expertise with a level of clinical up-leveling that I really feel is going to be able to hold even more for you, sis. This isn't different work. It is simply fuller work, and I'm super excited about it. I have been really fearful and even fearful sharing it because of all the judgments or whatever, but that just means that we're about to do something really hard and something really important. So this isn't me running from what is currently here at Her Best Self Co. It is me refusing to accept a ceiling on how much that I can give to the world because your girl has dreams, okay? And there is so much more left in me to give to you. And sis, this is where you come in because you're living under a ceiling too. One that maybe the eating disorder has been building for you over decades. That low, that gray ceiling that says, this is just as good as it gets. This is just who you are. This is where you're going to be. You can't possibly reach for more. And I look at the limit on what I could offer and simply say, I want to give more. I want to do more. How can I impact more? God, use me more. And sis, I'm asking you to look at that limit that the disorder is putting on your life and say the exact same thing. I want more than this. This is you refusing the ceiling. And that's where both of our stories turn. So I think about this next path and this next chapter, not as a pivot of any kind, but as the natural evolution and the natural next step in what I was already called to do, just layering on more and more. My past training and my past career and all of the coaching and my own recovery and lived experience, all of that led to a purpose. And all of it woven together with clinical training as well, and each thing making the next thing richer to the next right place and path forward to support you even more. Sis, your recovery is the exact same. It's not a departure from your life. It is not something that you get to press pause to go fix yourself in the corner while life continues to move forward. It is the next step in becoming who you were made to be and evolving into that person. And every chapter that you've lived before this one, even the very hard ones, especially the really hard ones, those aren't wasted. It is all woven in like a perfect masterpiece. And it becomes that foundation, the way all of mine is becoming mine. And so, I don't know, I'm just so passionate about talking about this with you because I can see the vision so clearly now, like my total vision, lived experience, transformational coaching, and clinical care under one roof someday, and a place built for women in recovery with just that warmth and dignity that so many women in the space are denied. Not only that, the sky is the limit, right? When we start dreaming and we start seeing ourselves in places, whether that's on stages or like me writing a book one day or sharing with the world, that if I can overcome an eating disorder, then so can you. All of that. It propels this like one integrated mission forward, and there is nothing that stops that. But I'll be honest, I can't see the how yet. Like I can't see the whole how yet, right? I can't see what's at the end of the bridge or around the corner of where I am now. I'm literally in the era of my life where I'm betting on a future that I cannot fully see. And that's exactly what I ask you to do on this show every single week. Picture your recovered self, present and free and quiet-minded, and walk toward her before the whole path is visible. Sis, you don't need the entire staircase, just the next stair, like just the next place to put your foot. And the bet that she's real and she's possible and she's capable, like that hype girl bet energy on yourself. Recovery is believing in a future you can't yet see and choosing to move forward anyways. And so when I was thinking about this decision over the weekend, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to either accept or decline or whatever. What am I going to do? It's literally in the worst timing ever. Here's the heart of it. This step for me is an act of integrity. Because every week that I ask you to bet on yourself, to keep going when the evidence is so discouraging, to invest in a future that you can't quite comprehend with your current mind and in your current circumstances, how could I keep asking that of you if I wasn't willing to keep doing it in my own life? And that's where I felt like super convicted. So this is me holding myself to the same standard that I hold to you when I talk to you on the show. None of us are too old or too far gone or are too behind to listen to our heart's call. None of us. Recovery is your act of integrity. You refusing to be one woman on the outside and yet a whole different woman at war on the inside with herself, closing the gap between who you're pretending to be and where that mask is on your face and who you actually are when you can pull that mask off, who you really want to be, that's not vanity. That's the bravest integrity there is, and that is the realness. So now I want to talk a little bit about timing. I had this in my notes because for me, timing's wild. It is a wild season. I am a wife. My husband just got promoted to lieutenant. I am a mom to 2 young boys who are in the thick of critical developmental years. Okay. Yes, boy, mom here. One of those is entering into the teenage years, not to mention they're both about to go back to school themselves. I'm a business owner and so many other people need me, but I am choosing to add doctoral work on top of the season that is already busting at the seams full. Why? Because I simply want to pull my hair out? No. Because I want to be up late writing papers again? No. Because friend, perfect timing is never coming. And sis, that's the exact lie keeping you stuck. I'll go all in on my healing journey when work slows down, or when the kids are older, or when it's after back to school, or when I feel ready, or when you fill in your blank because you know your blank, your excuse, right? We all do this. This is so normal. But hear this from a woman making a very big, inconvenient decision in a messy middle of her own full life. Ready isn't coming. The calm season isn't coming. There's always going to be something. And here's the truth. You go all in inside the hard season, or it simply won't happen because time's going to pass anyway. So I'm choosing to see what's the best that could happen. I'm not waiting for perfect conditions to invest in my future. And sis, you don't have to do that either. What I want my boys to see about me as they head back to their classrooms and I head back to mine is a woman who closed the gap between where she was and where she was meant to go without abandoning the life that is around her and stabilizes her and is her foundation and her truth. That's what your people in your life need to see about you too. This doesn't mean that you are a finished, all the well put together, perfectly recovered woman. It means you are a brave, in process, and okay and perfectly imperfect person right now. And the reality is that I have really spent 4 years proving with this show and with my business and my clients that I don't abandon hard things. I don't abandon hard things. If you've listened to this podcast, then you know that I am showing up here same time or around the same time every Tuesday and every Friday. And I've done that since the beginning. In fact, in the beginning, I was only doing once a week podcast. And then midway, I started doing 2 a week. And what that means is that I just want to go all in, building on the thing that I already love and not having any regrets. No regrets. So for me, this is just my next hard thing. And for you, sis, your recovery, your freedom from this illness, your freedom from the disordered patterns and beliefs about yourself is your next hard thing. And you have more proof than you think that you can do hard things because you've already survived every day so far, right? Nothing you've been through has ever been for nothing. The timing is never going to be perfect, but it is going to pass no matter what. For today's episode, I just wanted to remind you that you are so much more capable than what that voice inside of your mind wants you to believe is true about you. And if I can bet on a fuller future right in the middle of one of my fullest seasons ever, then so can you. And that's the whole reason why I'm sharing this personal episode today, because I want you to make sure that your life is full of I can't believe I did that, instead of I wish I had done that. So here's your invitation that I want to leave you with for the back to school season. Whatever your going back to school is for you, that brave recovery step that you keep postponing until you finally feel ready, I want you to take one real move this week. Not the whole staircase, the step. Even if you have no freaking clue what you are doing or where you are headed. And if that step is finally letting someone walk this journey with you and holding you accountable to all you're capable of, I would be honored to raise my hand to take on that role. The blended, lived experience that I have and the real life coaching support is exactly what I bring to every single client, holding your hand, giving you that tough love, saying, you know what, you might feel like you're in it right now, but you know what, sis, like you can do hard things. You're capable. Let's set up the plan together. Let's walk through the plan together. And there's no negotiating with the plan. We are going to walk together with this process. We're going to walk you through this process, which I call the best self method. And I'll talk more about that. But this brave, inconvenient, mid-season courage in the middle of all of it. And we are going to have a blast because really doing the hard things when it's least convenient is the hard. And if you can do it in the hard, then the easy is just like lemon squeezy, right? And so if you're ready to do that, then go on out to herbestself.co, fill out a client application. I'll meet you there and I'll set up some time so we can chat. I just love the season that we're about to be entering, the fresh starts, the crisp notebooks, the permission to begin again. It's like refreshing energy. And I just wanted you to hear from me that you don't have to be a kid or in a classroom to get a first day. You can have that day right now, right on this ordinary Friday. So here's the real before I close out the show today. I'm scared and I'm doing it anyway. I want this and I'm terrified and I'm deciding anyway. And your recovery is your version of that and the same exact sentence. So the next time that voice whispers, I can't, not now, but what if, not in this season, oh, but she's different, oh, but that couldn't work out for me. Remember your coach, Lindsay, went back to school in the middle of the messiest season, building on everything that she loves because she truly believes with everything in her that you can do your hard thing too. So I want you to grab a fresh notebook, sis, and I want you to think through this week. In this season of my life, even if it's a hard one, what is my next thing? What is it that I'm scared to do? What is it that I'm going to be so happy that I looked back on and I did versus saying, I wish I had done that? I love you, girl. And I hope you enjoyed today's show. And I'll see you real soon on the Her Best Self podcast. Thanks again for your listen. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.